The first sip of the day. We are back. It is the Morning Cryptos. I took 2 days off. That was weird. And let's look and see what's going on with the markets. I'm definitely gronky today. Woo! Bitcoin, good news is it looks like it wants to come back a little bit. Let's look at the let's look at the news here. Hit a refresh. 15,409 at the moment. The Los Angeles Times, a true expert in cryptos, says the Bitcoin prices continue to fall. Like 2 days, 3 days maximum of Bitcoin falling, and it's like the end of the freaking world with these people. Anyway, Economic Times, this could be Bitcoin's moment of truth. And Al Jazeera, Bitcoin exchange, there's no right current price. Right, interesting. A lot of stuff going on, most of which we who watch this every day are not too impressed with. So anyway, Bitcoin went up and up and up, and everybody who watches any kind of market realizes that there needs to be some kind of reaction, response, retracement. It just doesn't go up, 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 up forever, right? It needs to take a breath. The damn market needs to take a breath. And it's so clear, and we actually noticed this back on Labor Day weekend, back in September. I'm just going to get rid of the volume for a second here. Back in September, we had a really big holiday weekend, and we noticed that almost every Friday there was a sell-off. We being my team of groovesters, my groovy groovesters here. And, if Bitcoin goes up this much, it comes back that much. It goes up this much, it comes back this much, right? It's that freaking simple. And Bitcoin probably was overpriced. It was, there will be this rush and this mania because it's about people's thoughts. It's about what people are thinking. And most of the people coming in to this market have only heard of Bitcoin, and they don't know that it's totally unusable. It's totally untransferable. It's really, it's not working the way it's supposed to work right now. And that's really good news, because the reality is it's a first generation and brilliant concept and idea. The challenge is scalability. The challenge is the ability for this idea to grow to the next level. And the blocks keep getting full. And so it gets slower and slower, and the transaction fees get higher and higher. Other new coins are moving in other directions. So I think we're in a really good spot here, and it just may not be a good spot for Bitcoin, but everything else is really, I think, looking great. And Bitcoin's back up here to 15,000. So let's see what else is going on. Let's look at the 1 hour chart here. And I, at this point, got rid of all my Bitcoin. And I learned a lot about it. I'll still use it to sell into, but I'm not going to hold it unless I bought it, unless I happen to get it at a real huge dip. If I was in a position to get in at 10,000, I would definitely have some. And again, for those of you who are new here, this is me learning on camera how to go from someone who just bought Bitcoin and held it to someone who is learning how to trade it. And eventually, I probably won't be a day trader, but right now I think learning how to day trade is a way to get so much experience so fast that it will hopefully help me in the long term to be a wise and sound investor in this space. So, excuse me. So that's a little bit of what I'm doing here. I did an official 90-day challenge back starting on July 31st, and today is day 149 of that challenge. And a lot has happened in those days. It's about a half a year, a little less than half a year, and so I keep learning new things, and I keep trying to share those with you folks if that's helpful. And because I think we're all going to have to learn this. Eventually, someone will figure out how to make this money usable for, like turning on a light switch. We got a light here. I can turn it on, and turn it off. It takes a little while to find the little thing to turn it on and off, but, it's easy. Eventually, this will be easy, but it's not yet. So let's crank through these things. Let's go back to a one-day chart. Let's see what's going on. And I'm using charts from Bitfinex, even though I don't trade on Bitfinex. I just like their charts. So prices may vary. This is Bitcoin Cash, and like all the others, we had a huge dip on, I think it was Friday, the 22nd, Thursday or Friday, the 22nd of December. I think it was Friday. And it was just really pre-holiday sell-off, It's not the end of the world. There was no other news. It was just a pre-holiday sell-off. Smart people saw, wow, this is really high. I'm gonna sell some, right? So no big deal. It happened pretty much in everything. And Bitcoin Cash, I am not on the money yet here. I saw a pattern on the 1 hour chart up here at 3,400-ish. And that was, again, I'm learning. I'm not the world's expert in this. But what I'm trying to demonstrate is that you don't have to be the world's expert. We will still make mistakes. No trader makes 100% right decisions or choices. And that's part of the beauty of this, is that you have to learn how to kind of be gentle with yourself, let go of the past, and get your lesson and adopt it and adapt it and install it in yourself for the future. So Bitcoin Cash, let's go to the 1 hour chart. I think there is a good chance that Bitcoin Cash will give Bitcoin a run for its money. And here on the 1 hour chart, this is a nice setup, people. This could be an entry point right here. We have rising bottoms, and we got enough hours. I like it when there's a couple of days on the hour chart, and we have a triple top situation, right? That's going to pop. That is not going to stay down. There is pressure pushing up, and that's good news for me, because once it hits 3,400, I'm even, and anything after that or above that is profit for me. And I may just get out at 3,400 and look for a better place to get in. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. So that's, I think, a good little sign there. So, and again, I would prefer this pattern on a 1 day chart, because you have much more of a trend, but that could be a good entry spot. Let's go to Bitcoin Gold. Bitcoin Gold, sweet little pattern here. I'm really liking this. And this is a 1 day chart. We have rising bottoms. We have rising bottoms, which is your really the solid trend here. And then we have these 3 huge tops. So what I saw is a place to get in, and this is Friday. I got in here. Let's see if I can draw you a little arrow where I got in. I got in right here, which is exactly where I wanted to get in, so that when it rises up here, I'm literally in profit even before it makes its move, right? You can't always do that, right? Sometimes you got to do the best you can, but I was in a good spot there, and it was a pattern on a 1 day chart, and I was practicing following my own discipline, right? A disciplined trader is a profitable trader. I wasn't trying to chase all the drops. I mean, and if in the future, when we have a big correction day like that, I think I will be in a position to really capitalize on it, because I now know that those happen, and I kind of now understand how those get set up, And so I will have a war chest set up so that when I see massive drops like that, I'll be able to snap up some bargains. Yeah. So I am watching Bitcoin Gold here, and this is really, I'm not a big fan of it. I don't think fundamentally it's the greatest thing since Swiss cheese. I just want to, I'm practicing. I see every day as practice. And when you see every day as practice, there's no wrong. It's like, oh, okay, I did that and I learned this. I did that and I learned this. And that's what I'm really trying to get across to you people is the hypnosis of money and your own personal mastery when it comes to the way you think and how you interpret reality when things go your way and when things don't seem to go your way, right? So I would not be surprised if this chart works itself, going forward into, a tighter, see if I can make it, a tighter and tighter pattern here until it pops. Something like that, up and down, up and down, up and down, tighter and tighter and tighter and pop. Or it may just go right from here. But either way, I got it in a great spot. So if it doesn't do anything and just kind of peters out up here, I'm good. I'll just take profits and move on to something else, right? So anyway, that's Bitcoin Gold on the 1 day. Let's look at it on the 1 hour chart. And on the 1 hour chart, it's kind of doing some similar stuff. We have rising bottoms. In this case, we have, you could call it a flat top or you could call it rising top, and I think it's really just the holiday kind of taking a lot of energy out of the market. And I was doing other stuff for the last 2 days and it was fun. It was nice to take a break from trading. And these markets are made up of people, right? So that's the thing you got to remember. So let's go to the 1 day chart of Dash. Dash, like everything else, had this big boost and now it's consolidating on the 1 day chart. And I think that's good news. I think that's very, very good news. Let's look at it on a 1 hour chart. And again, I'm not actively trading Dash because I get Dash every day from my Genesis mining contract. So what I've been doing with Dash is as soon as I have enough in there, I buy something with it, right? Particularly since Dash has been up nice and high. I try to buy something that's nice and low so that I can leverage that. On the 1 hour chart, we have Friday's sell-off over here. And since then, it's been rising bottoms. But these tops couldn't break through these tops. So, again, I think that's just the holiday. I could be wrong, but I think Dash is strong. And I have no problem if Dash just stays sideways for a while. It just locks in the range between $1,000 and $1,200. That's fine. I think that would be healthy for the market. Let's look at EOS on the 1 day chart. EOS, again, we had a huge, wonderful boost, and then it pulled back like everything else, and now we are in a somewhat kind of a sideways little range. But look, we have support here, with the obvious exception of this huge wick down below on Friday, but everything was doing that. It was just the market selling off, and just people taking profits before the holiday. And next year, I'm going to do that. I'm going to take my profits. I'm just going to take the weekend off. And we'll see, the history doesn't always repeat itself. But, so yeah, I think EOS is going to be fine. Obviously, it's early in the project. It hasn't even, launched its main net yet. And it's doing really well. And again, this is a second or maybe even third generation crypto. And it's been called the Ethereum killer. And there's a bunch of different platforms that are coming out that claim to have solved all the problems that Ethereum has. And that's good. It's all good, people. Let's look at 1 hour chart here. See if I can get a little. Yeah, so we have a nice, and I could actually tweak this line a little bit. We have a nice, solidly consolidating channel. And I think these channels are good places to get in. And I would look into getting some more EOS anywhere between this 9 and 9 and 6 here. Obviously, you want to get it as low as you can in this channel, but we'll see what happens today. It's Tuesday, the day after Christmas. Still kind of a holiday season, probably for the next week or so, but we'll see if some money comes into this and some bargain shoppers come by, right? So I'm pleased with EOS. Not bad. Let's look at Ethereum. Speaking of Ethereum, and Ethereum's recovering nicely. It had its big sell-off on Friday like everything else, and this is going to be a little bit redundant, but in the last couple of days, it's recovered nicely. And so, again, I don't know if it's a good place to get in or not. I probably wouldn't recommend getting in right here, but you could construe, we have higher bottoms. And, we have kind of a little lid here. Come on. My charts get twitchy. That could be a possible entry point, but it seems pretty high to me. And again, right now, I'm kind of shifting towards projects that are third generation projects, and right now they're low. They're like below $1, so you have room for it to run. But if you're going in and out of, you have to sometimes sell into Ethereum, or sometimes you have to sell into Bitcoin. It makes sense to know what they're doing. And I think Ethereum's looking okay here. That's some pretty good damn support coming back from a pretty solid sell-off. So, not bad. Again, I'd like to see this on a one-day chart to really consider it to be an entry point. And if it shows up eventually as a sideways channel, let's look at it a different way. This could just be the beginning of a sideways channel. Let's just bring that down. This may be kind of a trading range that it goes into over the holidays, right? If that's the case, if this kind of just goes up and down over the next week or so through the holidays till the new year, and it comes back down on this line, that would be definitely a buy signal, right? If it comes down to this support here, right down here. I'll draw you a better arrow. Let me try one of these other arrows. Right there. My alarm clock is going off. It's 6 o'clock, 6 a.m. That's not where I wanted it. Right there. Okay, hang on, I'll be right back. How do I turn this? Oh, there we go. Oh, look at this. Woo! Anyway, I'm having fun. The arrow's a little too big. But if it comes down to this line, that's a buy, right? Just so you know. Let's keep moving here. IOTA. IOTA, you Yoda. We Yoda. Let's look at the one-day chart. Now, IOTA had this wonderful compressed thing going down here, and then it popped, and then it was all over the place, right? And it seems to be finding some support right down here. I'm going to move this line up as soon as I... Right? So this is going to be interesting to watch. And it's fairly close down to the support, and it has all this, did all this movement. And again, IOTA, this is very early in this project. This is one of the projects I do like because it really presents a solution to the blockchain congestion problem that the main Bitcoin, Ethereum, and even Litecoin have. And the blockchain was the innovation, but it also, it's like, I guess to use an analogy for in aviation, if the Wright brothers discovered that two wings gave them, more lift, but you don't see airplanes today with, two wings. You know what I mean? You don't see biplanes today. because we've moved beyond that. And in some ways, the blockchain is a massive improvement, and yet it's also very limiting in how it is designed. And so IOTA uses something called the tangle, and I invite you to go deeper into that and check it out. So it could be solving a problem, or it could be a dead end, right? We don't know. So the excitement is to find out what's going on with it eventually. And let's look at the 1 hour chart. This is kind of cool. I think we have a little compression here. And again, this could just be the holiday kind of lower volume kind of stuff. And you can look down here and the volume is quite a bit lower. And we want some good volume. You know, it could be an upward channel, right? Or it could be a squeeze. Could be a squeeze. An upward squeeze, double top or triple top, but they're not exactly tops. You know, they're not the same, but whatever. You know, again, we're just looking. We're just getting back in and just looking here. We're not making a bunch of decisions. And this is what I do all day. I kind of scan through. Then I'll do this 3 or 4 times a day on all of the different projects, and you know, and it fills up the day. It's kind of fun. But not everybody has time to do it. So what I'm trying to do is give you guys some information so that, you know, without having to know, you know, a ton of technical trading jargon, you can actually just kind of notice some of these patterns and go, oh, okay, that might be an entry point, or it might be a sell point, whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. All right, so let's go back to the 1 day chart. Boop. And let's move on to Litecoin. Litecoin. Not sure if Litecoin is overpriced or not. We'll have to see. I think Litecoin, knowing Litecoin, it'll probably do some kind of consolidation here, at least over the next week. But in this case, we have to go to a 1 hour chart to see what's going on. And we do have a consolidation. And again, it's pretty much like, it's a very similar pattern that we're seeing in all the others. We had a huge drop. We had a pretty nice recovery, and then another drop, then a really much more solid recovery. And here we have a kind of almost a double top situation on the 1 hours. And again, people take your 1 hour chart with a grain of salt. If you see this pattern on a 1 day chart, it might mean something more significant than a 1 hour chart. And I see the rising bottoms, and we got some pretty solid tops here. Litecoin might actually lift again. It might be a good spot to get in. So, looking at it, watching it, keeping an eye on it. Let's go to Neo. And again, Neo is another one of these newer projects that does a lot of what Ethereum does, but they have fixed a lot of the problems, supposedly. And we don't know that because it's not until someone builds a CryptoKitties on Neo, or a CryptoKitties on EOS, or a CryptoKitties on some of these other chains, you know, having trouble talking my words here. It's not until someone builds a CryptoKitties on some of these other blockchains or other projects that we'll see if, you know, they'll hold up. It's not until they get so much, traffic through it, like Bitcoin, that we'll see if they hold up. And again, this is early, people. We are still early, and we're learning, and we're testing, and we're trying to break stuff so that we can see what's going to hold up. And there is a revolution going on. So you can actually, if you look at Neo, you can kind of see a nice example of a sideways trading range on the 1 day chart. Nice little sideways squeeze here. Whoops. Right? And whenever you see these, be aware, it could be a lift coming. And you want to get in down at the bottom of the channel, right? And boom. And so what's it going to do? We don't know. We don't know at this point. I want to see some kind of pattern. Here on the 1 hour charts, we have a pattern, rising bottoms. But we don't really have any, I mean, you could almost construe that this is a double top. We have some, let's say, approximate resistance here. And we have rising bottoms. But again, this is over the Christmas holiday, so whether it holds true or not, I don't know. But it might be a good time to get into some Neo. Okay, Omise Go. Let's go to the 1 day chart. Omise Go. Same deal, big sell-off. Then it's coming back. We'll see. And we could be at the beginning of a bear phase, but I don't quite feel that, because I think, particularly after the new year, a lot of new money's kind of come in. And let's look at the 1 hour chart. We got ourselves kind of a rising channel here on Omise Go. And with a rising channel, it could be finding its new level and then it will level off, or it could be getting ready to boost. Either way, you want to get in, if you're going to get in, towards the bottom of the channel. That way, you're in profit almost immediately. If it does boost, you're in profit. If it just goes up to the top and kind of loses steam. So either way, you're good. And again, Omise Go is one of these newer projects. And it seems to be at a decent price for what it does, and it will probably eventually be a $50 coin or a $100 project, whatever. So that's one of the ones that I've been holding, and I'm going to keep kind of holding on to it. Quantum, another one of these new projects, really had a huge boost. I mean, it was trading at 12 just a couple of weeks ago. December 8th, it was down at 12. And it rode the big boost up. And it had a big correction, like all of them did. Let's look at the 1 hour chart. Here in Quantum, and I kind of like this, because I like this pattern. What are you seeing, people? What are you seeing here? I think it's going to go. I don't know if it'll go today, though. Unfortunately, I'm in at 51. I had Quantum at 12, and I sold as it went up. Took a lot of profits out of Quantum. And again, I am not presenting myself as an expert here, people. Please understand that. Not in trading. My expertise is in the human mind and my own process of teaching myself how to do stuff, everything you learn is all self-learned. Even if you have a teacher, you're the one that actually learns it. And if the teacher does a good job of presenting the ideas in a way that kind of fits lock and key with how you learn, you're going to learn faster. But eventually, I really like learning stuff on my own and then finding, when I get to a resistance point or something that I'm confused, then I search out someone who can help me kind of tweak that area, and then I go back and learn some more. And that's how I taught myself how to play the guitar, how I taught myself how to be a storyteller. A lot of the things that I've learned in my life, for me, the greatest joy is this learning process, which is why I love this so much. So embrace your learning. However you learn, embrace it and understand that how you do it is fine. But the bottom line is, those of us, the people who will be able to continually learn and adapt and integrate the challenges that new technology gives us, are going to be the ones who are going to rule the world in the future, right? And the power elite aren't so happy with that right now. But anyone can learn. With the internet, why would you need to go to school? Right? Everything you need is here, and maybe there are some things you need a classroom and a teacher for, but I think we're going to find that future generations will just be going to Google every day instead to Skoogle. We'll call it Skoogle. and it will happen wherever you want to be. All right, so I'm liking. I think Quantum's going to do pretty well either today or the next couple of weeks. That's reassuring because I'm in at 52, and I would like it to get back up there. But I can wait, and you're not always in the money. And sometimes you get in too soon. Sometimes you're a little behind. Either way, sometimes you nail it. I nailed Ripple the other day, but let's see. Monero. Let's get to a one-day chart. Boop-a-doop-a-doo. Same deal, just the same pattern. Everything hit. Everything got hit on Friday. And here we are 4 days later. We have some really good support here. And not a bad price. And we'll see if it goes sideways. We'll see if it has a pattern that we could use to get in. This is just basically kind of rising bottoms. It's just really the recovery phase after a big sell-off. That's kind of what it seems to be. So maybe not a bad time to get in whenever it comes back to this line. And again, Monero is one of the privacy coins. There's quite a few of them that are coming through. I think Verge is one of them. And I keep threatening to do a special on all the privacy coins, and I will when I have a little time here. It's just been crazy busy. Ripple. Let's go to Ripple. Let's go to a one-day chart with Ripple. Really interesting pattern here. Ripple's kind of different from all the rest, and I think it's because this is the Banksters coin. And nothing against banksters. I guess they're people too. But we have this nice sideways trading range and then a boost. We had a nice sideways trading range below here and then a boost. And now we seem to be, if on the one-day chart at least, a nice kind of different level here. And it has stages. And it's kind of settling into the 99 spot. I got in here. I think I got in here before this boost. I actually got into this boost. I made profit in Ripple, took profits here, then got back in here, took profits here, and up at the very tippy top, I literally got out at 120. And this chart doesn't even go that high. Oh, wait, on this wick it does. Yeah, I got out at 120. Sold it all, put it into US dollar tether, and that was me learning how to do that. And so I'm going to be looking to get more Ripple here. I like how Ripple works. It's fairly predictable, and the banksters like that. So, and Ripple, this could be a buy thing. This could really be a buy signal right here because we have rising bottoms. And notice that the wicks, the candles are getting really tight here. Really, really tight. I think. Just got to adjust this line. So I can click it here. I think it's going to go. I don't know what I have that I could sell to buy it though, because everything else I'm kind of holding. People, if you got any cash, if you got anything you could use, and I might just buy a little bit with the little bit of Dash I have. Or I might buy it with some Litecoin. I don't know. I don't know. This looks like a serious signal to get in because it might be ready for its next boost. Let's pull back to the one-day chart again. If it holds true to its pattern, we may have one more day before it goes, but I think we're going to have a boost. And it's, again, I like the fact that it's cheap, right? It's not $15,000, it's $1, right? And the downside, mathematically it's all relative, but I like Ripple right now. So think about it. Last but not least, I do not have any of this yet, but I'm going to start getting me some Zcash, which is another one of these privacy coins. On the one-day chart, it looks like we have a little consolidation here. We have the obvious recovery. And I was watching Zcash, and I could have bought some right at 300. But I didn't know how far we were going to tumble, and I'd never experienced that before as a trader. So I was just like, I'm going to watch, I'm going to learn this time, and I'm going to follow my discipline. And that meant that I had a nice one-day pattern on Bitcoin Gold, and I entered there with some of my profits from Ripple. So let's look here at the 1 hour chart. So Zcash, it has a nice upward thing here, but it also seems to be kind of more of a, I don't know, it's not that up. It really just kind of looks, at least over Christmas, like a consolidation pattern is forming. So I'm going to keep an eye on Zcash. I think it's something that I'm going to continue to learn more about. But you see, it's like the swings, right? That to me, there's vibration, and once it comes kind of into stillness, then it's ready to do something, right? It doesn't know what it wants to do yet. It all depends on if a bunch of buyers come in, it could go up, or we could have another sell-off. It's hard to know. All right, so that's, man, let's go back to Bitcoin, see what's been doing in the half hour that I've been flapping my gums here. And, conceivably, you could look at Bitcoin and you could go, wow, we have rising bottoms and kind of a double top here. And knowing Bitcoin, it'll be right back up to $20,000, probably by the new year, Everybody goes, Bitcoin, it's over. It's over. But they've been saying that since 2009, So, there you have it, people. It's kind of the day back after a big holiday. Things are a little bit quiet. We'll see what happens. I have a lot of other coins to look at, and I'm not going to do it on camera because I think that's enough. But I think you guys get the idea, all right? And let me know in the comments below if you have any questions about anything. And I do promise, I solemnly swear to do some specials on some new coins. And I'm really, really bullish right now on something called ADA and Cardano. And this is a third generation project that has solved all the problems, seriously, all the problems with Bitcoin. It's designed so that as more people use it, it gets faster, right? That's really cool. That's scalable. It's interoperable. It talks to other, it will be able to talk to all the other currencies. So you'll be able to just go from it to a different one without an exchange, I think, as far as I understand. And there's one other thing that it does. It's so amazing. It's like it's a trifecta. They're like, let's get this right. Let's see. It's scalable. The more people use it, the faster it goes. It's interoperable. And there's one other thing. I'm going to do a special on it, but I am kind of issuing a kind of a general fundamental buy for Cardano because it's just a damn good project. And it's peer reviewed. I mean, they have a team all over the world of top people working on it. And Charles Hoskins or Charles Hoskinson, whatever his actual last name is, he was in on the original Ethereum project, and he was in on the original BitShares project with Dan Larimer, who was the creator of EOS. So it's got a pedigree. I mean, it's got some really good stuff. And I'll leave a couple of links below if I can remember. DataDash did a wonderful interview last week with Charles, and there's a whiteboard video on YouTube with Charles, and I highly urge you to watch that. And again, I will do a special on it soon. But I didn't want to hold that information back because I think Cardano is the real deal. And at the moment, it's kind of moving sideways. This is a 1 hour chart, remember? So, stop with that. Okay. My line is a little screwed up, but. And I just want you to notice on the 1 hour chart, we did have a sell-off on Friday, but never went below support. Never, ever, ever went below support. That to me is a really strong sign. So check out Cardano, people. Do some research on it for yourself. Check out the website, and I'll remember what that third thing is. But it's just really early in the morning, and I'm still like so congested. I think I have allergies or something. I burn wood in my house, and I think I'm reacting to it. So anyway, that's it for today. And I hope you guys had a wonderful holiday. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy all that stuff. And that's it. I will see you in the next one. If you like this, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're new to this, please go ahead and subscribe. I'm here every day. I try to get here as early in the morning as I can. And I just try to look at the markets and just get my bearings for the day. And this is part of my 90-day challenge. It's day 149 of my 90-day challenge to go deep into the rabbit hole of the Bitcoin cryptoverse and to learn how to navigate it and how to pay myself royally from my research, from my efforts, from my attention, and I hope you are fully learning what you need to learn as well. And thanks again for your attention. I deeply and completely appreciate you guys. Peace, grooviness, over and out for now. Go ahead and start the music.